Let me tell you a story. So there was this teenager, I think about 16 to 19 years old, and he had just completed his secondary education. He had gotten his secondary school leaving certificate and now was seeking to gain admission into tertiary institution. And while he was waiting to get an admission, he began to take on jobs. So, and the major job he began to do was a teaching job. So he took up a teaching job with a primary school and was teaching. I think he started from primary one thereabouts. You know, no, he didn't start from primary one, but he was teaching in primary school. I think primary 4 or 5. Yeah. Then after teaching, as he began to progress, he also began to take on other side jobs, majorly private lessons. So when he was done with school, he would go all the way to, um, homes to take students at homes. So most times he would finish for the day around 10 p.m., 11 p.m. He was so engaged. So he finished from school, he goes to this place, finish from there, goes to another place, finish from there, goes to another place. And most times he gets home very late at night, 10 p.m. Sometimes on the extreme 11 p.m. And this went on and on and on. And one day, on one fateful day, he returned from these activities that he was engaged in, trying to get as much money as he could get, you know, as a young chap. And then he got home that day. As he entered the house, his mom called him and asked him to sit. So he sat down. The mom made a profound statement to him that he would never forget. She said, "It is not the labors of a man that makes rich, it is the blessings of the Lord." Wow, very profound statement. He can never forget that statement. And when I say he, I mean me, because this story is about me. That was me as a teenager. I can never forget that statement my mom said to me that day. It is not the labors of a man that makes rich. And I'm saying it to you too. It is the blessings of the Lord that makes rich. Many times we are overwhelmed by labor. We are overwhelmed by doing as much as we can do to make as much as we can make. The Bible tells us clearly, Proverbs 10, verse 22, the blessings of the Lord makes rich and adds no sorrow to it. All right. So rather than being engrossed in labor, doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that, people move from place to place, all because they're trying to get as much money as they can. It is not the labors of a man that makes rich. It is the blessings of the Lord that makes rich. It is a blessing of the Lord. So most times we just begin to labor. Don't just jump into anything because people are doing it. Sometimes we see someone is progressing or he seems to be making some level of success in what he's doing, and then you feel that that's the next thing you want to do. You jump into it, and when you are in the middle of it, you begin to shout and cry on God. Oh God, you begin to terrorize heaven. Oh God, you said you bless the work of my hand, bless the work of my hand. Many times it takes wisdom to know that you don't need to be praying for God to bless the works of your hand. Many times you don't need to pray for God to bless what you are doing. You need to pray to know what God is blessing and then do it. You need to pray to know what God is blessing and then do it. Is it that God is not blessing some jobs? No, that's not what it means. It means that for you, there's certain things that God is going to use to announce you to your world. You need to find it. That's what God is going to bless for you. Doing everything, God is not going to announce you by everything. God is going to announce you by one thing. You can do so many things, but it's one that God will announce you by. When you find it, ensure that you pour yourself into it until God announces you. In that situation, you will not need to pray for God to bless what you are doing, because God doesn't need to come and bless what you are doing. It's a law, it's a system. Once you are doing what God is blessing, the blessing is automatic. As what you have found, God has ordained for you to do, you don't need to pray for him to bless it. The blessing is automatic. So it is not in how much labor you do or you engage that will determine how successful you will be. No, it's about finding what God would have you do and pouring yourself out into it, and then God will announce you through it. God will announce you through it. I've come to discover that on this earth, it is not those who labor the most that are the richest or the wealthiest. No, no. If you want to see those who are laboring the most, they are at the bottom of the food chain. Permit me to use that word. Yeah, that's it. For instance, let me close with this, and I want you to think about it. Look at two different jobs. The driver of an 18-wheeler truck, those heavy duty truck, the guy who drives that truck. Compare him with the guy who flies a plane. You call him a pilot, who flies a plane. You know, the guy who drives the heavy duty truck and the guy who flies a plane. Consider these two people. Who amongst both of them is doing the most strenuous job? Who is doing the most stressful job? Whose job requires the most physical exertion? Think about it. Think about it. I'm going to continue from here in my next video. I don't want this to be too long. All right. So think about it. It is not the labors of a man that makes rich. It is the blessings of the Lord. God bless you. My name is Smith Odukunle, and I approve this message. God bless you.